Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast episode 599. That's right, 599. As I said in the movie cast, the penultimate episode to 600. I'm going to say it again. I don't know why. It doesn't have any meaning to us because it's not like a finale, but still, it works. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast. I'm joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Ahoy.
and Tony Korkanakis. Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 599 of the Gamecast. A lot of stuff. You know what's crazy? It's like, it's been a weird year. There's not a lot of games to play. But it's still exciting to get the news, especially because there's not a lot of games to play. So to get some showcases like we got with Capcom and Microsoft, it's fun. We have Nintendo. Is there a showcase this week? Is it? No, it's not. I thought it was. It's got to be next week then, right? Gotta be next week. Gotta be next week. Yeah, it's gotta be next week. So we're gonna get a Nintendo thing focusing on the rest of this year. It's been a weird time with no E3, but strangely, I was gonna make a statement, but strangely, the industry has gone on. Yeah, I know. I'll give you credit, Tony. You were first on the scene. First on the scene was Tony reporting, but I do say we followed suit pretty soon after. Yeah. Originally my thought, just side going to E3 talk here. Originally my against what you were saying, Tony, was I really felt like you were just more going biased Nintendo when they pulled out and didn't want to go to E3 anymore, and you were just backing them, backing them because you're a bigger Nintendo fan than you are of the other companies. So I was like, he's back, and that I just thought it was the wrong decision. But clearly they knew something as well, that it's just you don't need it. And I give credit to where credit is due on that situation, because like Nintendo, in my opinion, has been behind a lot of things and making the right decisions in terms of like online aspect of things. But they were the first really to just say, nah, E3's why? We don't need that. And I give them credit because they don't. You don't need that. You have your own showcases now with the world watching on the internet. It's so easy to run your own showcases. Networking. A lot of it was networking. Yeah. Mhm. Well,
That's
and
part
there's
of the
so
fun
many.
of it, though.
Yeah.
You don't? I think it's fun. Hilarious.
Well, it's the famous Microsoft crashes. I mean, when you're doing a pre-recorded thing, you don't have to worry about that. It kind of takes care of it. So I understand that 100%. You don't have the laughable Windows blue screen of death. Um, um, yeah, I mean, was the Assassin's Creed series ever the same after the debacle from the Assassin's Creed? What was that one that was so bad? The glitchiness. It was right before Odyssey, wasn't it?
Unity.
Unity. I would argue that the Assassin's Creed series was not as. I mean, Odyssey was a great game. Don't
But
get me wrong,
what
but it
is that?
wasn't as big.
This wasn't stuff that happened in a live show. This was its release. That was bad. Like, I don't know.
I thought that happened on the show.
Well, I
No,
don't
it's
know
just
what
people
happened.
posting crazy stuff that they're doing once the game came
I thought that
out.
was happening on the show too, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, you're right. You get these digital platforms nowadays. Everybody can have their own showcases whenever they want too. Like we just mentioned the fact that Nintendo, we don't know when, but it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, and they can just announce it whenever they like. So yeah, I mean, especially if you're waiting for one of your big game developers to say, Go ahead. That's good. Show it. Or say no, we're cutting this out because we're not going to make this. You can make those adjustments on the pre-recorded stuff than you can from a live show where you show something and it disappears for 5 to 10 to 15 years. Sometimes if you're a Square Enix kind of company. So it's just like I'm very happy we've gone this way now. I do like the time of year. I like this announcement area. Like I love having these showcases here, especially with this year because we just need some hype for some games. So we're gonna get into that shortly. Getting to what we've been playing though, guys.
Oh, hold on. Before you move on so quickly, I do want to throw in here. While I do like how the things are going, I really do miss the live shows. I enjoy the
Really?
live shows. I think they were a lot of fun. I love to see this things that kind of went wrong and go wrong,
You could
and like I
chime
what I
like to
in
mean.
see this
whenever
stuff.
you like.
part
Mike
of the
was
fun
chiming
of
in,
it.
Corey. You could have just chimed in whenever you wanted,
Yeah.
but you're
Waiting for you
saving
guys
this to
to
rant.
gush over it all and like blow your loads and everything.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was like,
Go on.
hey, like, you're going so quick here. Like, let's I just want to like hold like I not that it's bad. I do think it's in a good space, and obviously you need to adapt. If you do not adapt in this industry, you're gonna get left behind. And with the pandemic and with technology advancing so quickly because of the necessity we needed to be able to do things remotely, it obviously pushed this much quicker. But I do miss the live shows. I thought they were fun, like I said, and I like to see people come out, talk about the game a little bit, show it, play it, and you get to see a little bit more about this game than just a trailer. Because we just get trailers right now. That's all we're getting.
No, I
And I
mean
think it's
we've
fun to
gotten
see
some
live shows.
interviews as well. We've gotten some
I mean,
interviews as
I'm
well.
not saying you don't. I'm just saying like I think it's like I do miss them. I don't think they were all bad. Like it
No,
didn't necessarily not need to happen. I just think like obviously with the world the way it is now, this is the way to go. But I do think it's unfortunate that we don't
I,
have live
I
live shows anymore.
I'm somewhere in between a little bit because I never watched them. I do think seeing some talking head person come out there and like waiting like 3 hours at a time is just a waste of time. But I caught most of the highlights and I enjoyed when there was, things to like pick apart or like mishaps that were
I
fun.
mean, I
But
like a live audience. I like to be excited with them and or not, and like hear
well,
the cheers and stuff. Why
there's
not?
a lot of plants. Yeah,
Sure.
there's more plants than a rainforest in those audiences. But Um, I will say that I think most of the devs would say they did get more networking done in those in-person situations than
Definitely.
what they would do now. They definitely some
They
games might have
have,
came up to be even like bars surrounding the areas of those
but they
places. I think
have
that's how it
shows
worked.
now. No, they have shows now for that. Not E3. They have game dev
Oh
conferences
yeah,
constantly.
sure, but this one was a bigger one, and who's to say GDC or other stuff just doesn't go all digital now because of this? Who knows? It
I
might
just
soon.
want to say, like, I do miss the live show. That's all. Like, not that I'm saying this is. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Component. Yeah.
Good. Cool.
Hmm.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes. So,
Unless you're the employees that are getting abused, obviously.
right. Corey, continue on now though. What have you been playing? Anything?
Yeah, I play more Xenoblade, trying to get in as much as Xenoblade as I can when I sneak it in there every once in a while. Get just like I was like trying to like sit down and play for like hours, and I'm like, this is not gonna happen. So I just need to like find like an hour here and there and just play it. And so that's what I've
Yeah.
been doing. And yeah, just trudging, not trudging, because I've been enjoying my time a lot with it. And yeah, I love this series, and I like to see like I keep mentioning the same thing over and over. It's just like I like to see that evolution of where they were with two and from when they came from with one and how they iterated on that process. And but then here it's just it's so good still. It's and unique and interesting. And I don't know if they changed anything with that or made improvements or on gameplay wise because I didn't play the original, but I would assume it's mostly the same. It's more of a graphical facelift there. Yeah, but I mean, like I remember like vividly like things that this game did, and Tony would be like, "Why don't more games do this? Like no one's learning from like these like quality of life things." Like, because yeah, this is like the quality of life in these games. It feels like a modern game because you don't have a lot of this like stupid random stuff that happens or like having to like click on things to make that like just do things for me that I don't need like the mundane yeah, mundane, like stupid, repetitive things that don't necessarily need you to be involved in. Just let that happen for you. And yeah, it's like so many games just did not and do not still do things that make your life easier as a player. And it's just it's amazing because this game came out what in 20 like yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Not too much story wise. I've been like running around trying to do some side quests here and there, just clean those up. Yeah, but that's the other thing. So side quests, like the thing again, quality of life. You complete a side quest, you do not have to run back and freaking talk to the person that you got the quest from. It's like, oh, you completed a quest, good, then get the reward. It's like I don't have to run back 50 miles to to do it.
And some quality of life stuff. Yeah. So, all right, cool. Um,
Hmm? There's yeah, there. I mean, you can fast. I mean, it's you can go between like different levels and yeah. Hmm?
all right.
Yep, there's like different like spots that have like this little symbol on the map that it's like, okay, once you hit here, you can go bounce back between different areas. Yeah.
All right. Mike.
Okay, so I think
Oh,
I've been I don't know if I played any Elden Ring this week. I think
mm,
I might be done. And it's not for any like specific thing. It's just, I did the other cycle of, oh, this is a hard place. Let's explore where I might have missed. And I just kind of don't care that much anymore. But mostly it's because I have other things to distract me. Two things really. One was the update for Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl has the voices finally. So I decided to go back and play through that for a little bit. It also added items, which was much needed
mm,
as well. So now it feels more like a complete game, and the voices are most of them are pretty good. They're all new recorded lines by as many as the original actors that they could get. Fortunately, a few of them are have passed away, so you get a few sort of impressions that aren't so great. I didn't know that apparently there's a newer Garfield that has a different voice because I hate the Garfield voice, but apparently this is the newer Garfield cartoon voice.
mm,
Um, it's meh. But also Shredder, Jim Cummings, who is Cat and Cat Dog, and lots of other people who you would remember. Apparently, he was a replacement even on the old '86 or whatever 80 something cartoon for James Avery as Shredder. But his Shredder is totally different. So we have his Shredder in there too. But Leonardo, Michelangelo sound good, which is bodes well for the the Shredder's Revenge game since they're also reprising their roles in that. And yeah, it's the items are basic but fun. It's
mm.
it seems like a more complete game, so it was cool to go back there. I listened to a few of them and it was good. But obviously that didn't hold my attention for too long. But something else that did come out was Super Mario Strikers. I don't even remember the colon name for this.
Mm.
Strikers. I don't.
Switch game. The Switch version. Go on.
Yes. Um, the charge was I think the Wii version. I don't remember, but like
Battle
Battle League or
League.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it came out. I've been looking forward to it, and the gameplay itself is very similar, very good. But this game, unfortunately, I regret to report, has a major content problem. There is nothing in this game.
Yeah.
There, there's nothing to do in this game. There's like there's 10 characters. There's no minion characters this time around, like there was in some of the older games. So there's 10 characters. They all have their unique like power strike, and they move slightly differently. They have their own attributes. The gear that you can put on doesn't change your net stats ever. So there's really no incentive to do it. Any gear that you put on, unless you're trying to min max, basically, it'll add like one thing, like 2 points to like strength, but it'll take 2 points from something else. So really, there's no real reason to use it unless you want to just make a certain character not do what they're designed to do. They look a little different, but and then there's just like 4 cups, and that's all you can do. You sort of do like brackets of like 3 games. Again, there's only 10 characters, and
It's
that's
got
about
online
it.
though, right?
It does have online, and they have. It seems like the most content is locked behind this online club thing where you need to like join a club and face off against other people online and be active, and then like there's a club captain that can like choose you, and you can adjust your arena. Although the arena doesn't, there's no like arena hazards or anything. It's all aesthetics. So, and there's just not a lot right now, especially single player wise in this game. It's haven't felt like this since like Halo Infinite, that a game at release needed DLC immediately, but I kind of feel like this does, which is unfortunate because
Yeah,
the
it
core
sounds like
gameplay
they're hoping the online will carry it until the next content.
Yeah.
maybe. Traditionally, with I've like played co-op with my brother growing up against the computer in this game, like, and I don't know how playing other people would really be, but the gameplay itself has a little more depth to it. Although I think there's a lack of items as well. There's only a handful of items too. There's just not a lot of variety to this game. But the animations look great. The gameplay is tight and fun. It's still the core great Strikers gameplay that's been there with just a little added depth to it. You have some like charged tackles, and some you can like tackle your own character to push them forward. You get a boost if you dodge a tackle. So there's some good stuff in there, but it feels like this game was made like right after Charge came out. Like this seems like there's just not a lot to it. So
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed, but I'm also still gonna play it. Still trying to get other people to play it to make it feel a little more new while we play it together. But yeah, it's got a content problem. There's no getting around it.
Interesting. Okay. Golf.
Mm.
Hmm.
Also, it's Strikers is back, man.
No, I'm glad it's
Been a
back,
while.
and I definitely rushed out and got it when I could. So, and I got a copy for my brother as well. So because it was just a little after his birthday, so I'm like, all right, we can do this, but he's got to get online first.
Yep. All right.
That's it. So I played those two, and sort of, I don't know if I'm gonna feel the desire to go back to Elden Ring anytime soon. We'll see.
Yeah. Tony. Okay. 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 All right. Let's move into the gaming news. They had NPD came out, so we want to go over that real quick now before getting into the showcases. What do we have here? This is a list that's just it's crazy. Elden Ring still ranking in at number 1 after last month was number 2.
Yeah,
It
nothing new
just
came
swapped.
out this month, right?
It just swapped places with Star Wars. Star Wars still held up there pretty well. The Skywalker saga from Lego. Switch Sports at number 3.
That was the
Pretty
new one.
damn.
Which one
Yeah,
was
I
the new
guess
one?
so.
Yeah,
I
it's a new
think
one.
that's new. Yeah.
No, it was number 5 last week. It's up to 3 now.
Oh,
Oh, really?
So second month.
I feel like it just came
Evil
out.
Evil Dead the game, which I didn't even know was out. What's that? Yeah, that's ranked number 4. MLB the Show, Kirby, Call of Duty, Mario Kart, Gran Turismo, Pokemon are your top 10. Of note, though, I would like to point out, guys, if you need me to start ranting on this podcast for listeners and viewers, I will gladly do that. But it's time to stop buying Skyrim. Okay, it's time, folks. Like,
Just
seriously,
like GTA.
Grand Theft Auto status, guys. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
listen,
been
I would
asked.
give that game a little more credit personally. Like, I like that game a lot. It's a great game, but what are we doing? Like, really? Like, I cannot believe it made the top 20. I just can't believe that. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's probably people out there who haven't played it.
it's crazy that it made the top 20, though. I just, wow, crazy. So, in this day and age, Skyrim. Again, the statement was, they keep buying it, we'll keep making it. That's it. Remakes galore for this game. Same thing with Grand Theft Auto. If you guys want a sequel, stop buying it to make them make that sequel. So, let's see. We had Last of Us Part 1, the definitive version, announced last week. Last week? Yeah, we're about last week at this point, right? Was it? How long ago was that now? It feels like a week ago, but it was
The
almost.
That
9th.
was 2 days ago.
No, the 9th was the Game Fest, wasn't it?
Okay.
It was like Thursday of last week or Wednesday. No, it was Thursday. It was Thursday. So yeah, I mean, Game Fest had some great stuff. For me, I didn't even put that on here. I'm sorry, I have to add some of the news from that they talked about. But I mean, the definitive edition, a remaster of a remaster, essentially, of The Last of Us Part 1. Anybody not impressed with this? I mean, I'm not that impressed, but am I alone? Okay. Well, they're
Well,
doing.
no,
I
like
thought
the Naughty Dog is literally tweeting out like comparisons. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this? It does not look like this is not like the
Well, like
remake that
internally,
you do.
yeah, internally they're like they must be like nerdgasming over how good this looks, and I'm just everybody's like, what are you doing?
No, it's tough because like the first thing I thought when I saw remake, I was like, oh, this is the remake version. I was like, okay, I can see I can see what they're doing here. And then like, oh wait, part one's the new one. Wait, what? This
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. This
I
does not look
think
that much better. This is PS5 we're talking about? Like, come on.
yeah, I
They
feel
added
like
ray tracing. Yay.
the
It's
game
built from the
the remake
ground
looked
up
good.
too.
Yeah, the original. And that's what I heard. It's got elements of The Last of Us Part 2 in it, like the AI. It's using that AI now, which could be interesting for some of that game to reestablish. Like, could be interesting, but the game always looked really good if you remember right. PS4 wise, it looked fantastic, and then even like the remaster PS3. I'm sorry, the remaster, even though PS3 that killed my PS3. To this day, I will state that killed my PS3. PS4 though had the remaster and it looked really good, really good. And so I'm like, why do a remaster of a game that already looks pretty freaking amazing?
I
Yeah, I
don't
mean they
get it, man.
remastered it for PS4, which was great, loved it. And then this here, I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, again, if people are gonna buy it, might as well do it. But the graphically, I couldn't tell you like it looks better. Like we were saying in Discord, it's one of those things where the remaster like captures the characters, but now they're trying to do this weird. They're changing them, and it's not. It doesn't look good. I don't like it.
No, it's either that or they're just the lighting's a little different. That's about it.
They went real like crazy on the lighting. Lighting happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the remake. It'll play on your PS5, right? So
Yeah.
runs in 60 frames. So do we know? Does it include the pre? Okay,
No.
What, DLC?
the
No,
prequel DLC.
the prequel DLC.
I think so. I think I saw a screenshot of
I
it.
didn't see it. Oh, really? No, they didn't. So they didn't mention that was in there.
No,
But
fuck the multiplayer. Multiplayer is
I think I saw
fantastic, by
a
the way, but
screenshot of
I
it
did
though.
not
But
expect it.
yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Other games at the Game Fest last week were let's see, we had Gotham Knights. Everybody check that out? The gameplay. It looked the
Yeah,
same. I'm just
it was the Nightwing gameplay,
yeah, the
or
Nightwing gameplay. Yeah.
I also yeah, it looks fine. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. The Nightwing looks is the safe one because it's gonna play the closest to
Batman.
traditional Arkham stuff. But I also listened a little bit to a developer interview today for that as well. And it sort of reaffirmed some of my concerns, which is and it's posed almost as a positive, but they're like, oh, so you can. They asked, can you drop in and out with a second player at any time, or is that locked out of certain missions? They're like, no, anytime. And then they said, you can actually be any of these four characters and play through the whole game like that. So that basically means there will be no curated levels for specific characters or no character specific missions. So if anyone was arguing that the multiplayer aspect of this isn't going to water down like the personal nature of the story or even the environments based on the character's abilities, well, you're wrong. It will, because it has to be pretty generic to
Yeah.
accommodate all that. So it's not a good news. It's not good news, and the gameplay itself was at
Sounds even
best
worse than
okay.
what Avengers did because you're not even getting those character specific missions that Avengers gave
Yeah,
you.
no, not even that. No. So
Yeah.
it's
We had
not looking good, really.
no.
Hmm.
We had Street Fighter 6 also shown. Anything you guys want to discuss on that one?
I mean, they showed that Sony's thing we talked about last week, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
it was awesome. And we talked about and
Marvel
I'm
Midnight
excited.
Suns tactics game.
Like,
Yeah, the tactics game. Which now listen, I think it's awesome. I hope it comes out and it's a fun game. I don't know. I have very reserved expectations for this, but I'm hoping I hope it's really good. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm hoping this is good, but I'm ready for I'm ready for it not to be. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I got this I got this feeling, and I'm just I don't have that good feeling right now. But I want to play it because XCOM. So let's see, the last delicious last course from Cuphead finally. That's June 30th. They had the Turtles game shown as well, which obviously was dated June 16th. Shredder's Revenge, which looks awesome. Ace Jones. Yeah, that's awesome.
Crazy. Yep.
Very awesome. What else? Anything else of note? Metal Hellsinger, Nightingale, first person fantasy game. That's about it, really,
we
right?
showed that
Anything else?
before, I think.
Yeah,
So,
we've seen this stuff, a lot of it, but there's more updates in the
mhm.
games. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not this year. This year was Game Pass exclusive. Or Game Pass day one. That's what it was. Day one Game Pass. Yeah. I know. That was it for me though. Yeah. That guy's getting those royalty
Mhm.
checks like crazy. It's just cha-ching, cha-ching.
Sure, it's not just a bunch of people doing the impression of one guy.
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah.
next one then? Was that the Xbox one? I totally did not pay attention. This nothing seems all that interesting or to like. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So the Xbox showcase, yeah. So we had that. That I
Bethesda
don't
Xbox showcase.
Bethesda Xbox, yeah, Xbox. So yeah, I mean, we had. I guess it kicked off with Redfall.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna go through everything. We can kind of skip through stuff here. Redfall. I don't
Just
know.
one game to talk about.
I know that's fine. Hollow Knight. Silk Song.
I have to say, Redfall, Hollow Knight Silk Songs. I mean, that's gonna be big.
Yeah,
I think.
that's gonna be big.
But
Redfall, I
no,
thought looked
Redfall I thought
okay.
was interesting. Actually, that's the one that I'm most curious about out of this whole thing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Riot Games on Game Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A Plague Tale Requiem. They showed some scenes from that. New gameplay for it. Will be obviously in Game Pass as well. But it looked okay. I mean, I never played a Plague Tale. Right, that first. This is a sequel, or is it like a rehash?
No one knows.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. None of us played it.
Forza Motorsport looked good.
Another
Like
Forza.
Forza. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it looked really nice, but how much? It's all replay cameras, though. It's all replay cameras too. So yeah. Flight Simulator 40th anniversary, which I skipped through when I was watching this replay. Yeah, I know. I saw that part. I don't know. It's Flight Simulator. It looks again. It's like Forza. It looks great. It's just not. That's not for me. Um, Overwatch 2 with a release date for October 4th and free to play. Yes. What do you guys think? It looks like Overwatch.
Yep. No,
Uh,
it's unfortunate.
I didn't watch it,
How far it's
and
fallen.
this I forgot to mention
we'll see.
at the beginning of this
When it's
episode.
here,
At the
maybe I'll.
beginning of this, they said they were trying to do something completely different they haven't done before, and that's only show games coming out in the next 12 months. So
Mhm.
that's what we're getting here. Aura, the Elder
Slated to come out in the
Slated.
next
Yes,
12
we don't know
months.
this happening.
We'll
We've got
see.
Aura, the History Untold, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout: The Pit, Hot Wheels DLC, which is like you have to have it in Forza Horizons. Arc 2, Scorn. Anything you guys want to talk about in any of these? I was not impressed with any of this stuff. Flintlock, Siege of Dawn,
I
Minecraft
I mean,
Legends.
PlayStation had the best show that I just. No.
No, Lightyear Frontier, Gunfire Reborn. That's always fun.
You want to get to the
Um,
one that Mike wants to talk about?
Yeah, we'll just get into it. It is Grounded, right, Mike?
What? Who?
Diablo 4.
Whoop, whoop. It's gonna be monetized out of the wazoo, just like
I'm
Immortal
sure it
is.
is.
Mm.
You have to be better. You're the original. Yeah. Mm, yeah.
It's red and brown and gray. That's all you get.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so limited. You're right. I mean, yeah. And a game.
Well, those 5 classes have like 10 subclasses. Then maybe. I don't know. That's how you get up. Like that's how you can spin it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. All right. Skipping around a little bit. Kojima has a new game. That was a surprise, making a game with Xbox Studios. Which may not ever come out. May not ever come out. It's just, yeah, we're gonna work on something.
Mhm.
All right. Go ahead.
I tried playing actually the series version of a game on my using the cloud, and it did not work well at all.
Hmm.
It was pretty bad. So they still got a ways to go with that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Persona series though, coming to Game Pass. Game Pass. That's
That's awesome.
huge. I didn't get to play Persona 5 Royal, but I I don't know, man. I love that game so much that I know it's too much. Yeah, that's what I want to play. Yeah, that's it. I
I mean, if
mean,
I were you, Jim, I'd play 4. Play 4. Like that's such a
yeah,
game.
Persona 4 Golden. Yeah, I should play that
So
one this
good.
time. Maybe I will play that one this time. It's coming Game Pass. It helps being free. It helps.
Mhm.
Okay.
And lastly, let's talk. Go on. Yes. I mean,
Mhm.
since I mean, it's every year we get Corey's prediction, don't we? Or oh no, it's not Corey's prediction. It will never come, right?
Well, no, I bet that it wouldn't,
Yes.
and Tony bet it would.
Tony's bet it would. Every year we seem to get that conversation, so we'll see. How do you feel now, Corey? Let's say next year. What do you think?
I'm hoping. I'm always hoping.
Yeah,
I'm
more like
rooting
you take
for
the
it.
bet, you hope the
More
bet because you're
Persona, the
hoping.
better. Like
Yeah,
everybody needs to be able to get a chance to play it.
yeah. Um,
Oh,
it's perfect for it. It really is.
you might as well. Like you're gonna sell so much on the Switch.
All right.
Look at what that one game that came to Switch that was on PlayStation. The robot, the Queen's Dragons Queen people. What is that called? 13 Sentinels. That
Um,
was it.
That was great.
Yeah, it came to the Switch. I mean, it did great. I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Mike, what game did they talk about? What do you want to talk about the most here?
I'm not even the one most hyped for this game. I just thought there's a lot of talking points for it. Am I? Well, I like. You were the one who was like, "Oh yeah, this game's coming for a while." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know about Bethesda anymore." So we saw Starfield gameplay for the first time. That's what happened.
Yes.
Starfield. What is Starfield, Mike?
It's delayed, is what it is, and for good, and for probably good reason. Um, so it looks like Fallout in space, which is basically what I wanted from the game. So I'm not that disappointed in it, but it does seem like it has some broken animations in the combat, uh, in what they showed us, which is a little concerning. Um, what else? They also showed that there's space combat, which is cool. I feel like in the genre in similar games like Outer Worlds or Mass Effect, it was a missed opportunity to that you didn't have that, and this seems like a totally different game. The space combat they showed, so that was the biggest. All right, this is cool moment I thought in what they showed. The first person gameplay was not that interesting. It was okay, but I never really like. Again, I'm thinking Fallout in space, so I never really consider the combat, other than some interesting weapons here or there, all that important to what makes these types of games interesting. So I almost don't care as long as there's maybe something like that to spruce it up. I don't know if there will be or not, but but otherwise we get some different looking locales. I thought that was good. But I
I mean,
guess just
I
there's
I have to say that it met my expectations of what I was expecting this to be. Like, I don't know, I'm not blown away by the visuals at all, but I wasn't
no why.
expecting that.
Actually, I thought the faces of the characters looked better than I expected from a Bethesda game. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's new, but I still was like, oh, so this doesn't look like Fallout 4.
Hmm.
That's good.
But it's Fallout in space, and that's fully what I expect for this
Yeah.
game, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean that's what I was looking for. Again, the animations in the gunfight is one concern. The
Hopefully it's
other
not Fallout
concern,
4 in space. I mean, if it's, I just like you want some innovation there somewhere. Like if you're gonna do space.
well, yeah, that's what I mean. We have the whole space
We have
combat thing.
1,000
That's a whole new
planets.
thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, it definitely looked. I mean, it looked faster and snappier than it has in traditionally. It's just the reactions of the enemies weren't what you wanted, and I don't know why there was no reticle. Mhm. Yeah. Well, I do think that they intentionally showed some very early in the game, so you might not have had like any interesting abilities at that point. Obviously, the enemies were level twos.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know, but I don't know. They don't want to spoil anything. Yes, I hope. I do. They didn't go into it, but they hinted that like the base building will matter, like it didn't in Fallout 4. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I mean, it mostly was about what I expected, and the space
Yeah.
combat to me was like a pleasant surprise and a definite plus. Actually, the biggest thing that gave me pause more than the animations is Todd Howard talking about 1,000 planets to explore. That gave me that was the biggest red flag from the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because they're going to just be empty planets.
No, I literally picture Mass Effect 1's sort of, moon-like planets where you just bounce around in the Mako, find your one base, and that's the planet. Like, I think that's what that will be. I don't see how
Yeah.
it's not going to be that.
Yeah. I don't see
Essentially
that.
what No Man's Sky was when it first came out. I was like, here's a
Yeah.
couple plants and a frog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got you. I agree. I agree on that aspect of it.
Well,
So we'll see.
I liked
Hopefully we get
what I
more from it.
saw of the curated worlds that they showed in a little montage there. I'm like, all right, you got like some
Yeah.
cyberpunk neon. There
Can't
was
trust
definitely
it though.
stuff
We've
going on
learned
there.
this. We've learned this. Like you can't
No,
trust
but
anything you see.
you know that those are going to be not the randomly generated planets. I know that. I was no,
I
they looked too good to be randomly generated.
exactly. Exactly.
Yep. All right. Let's let's move on from this. Go to the Capcom Game Fest showcase as well, because we had that as well yesterday, I believe. Right? It was yesterday. Days are blurring together. So Capcom showed, it was very Resident Evil, I guess, heavy in my opinion. But we had a couple other games. Let's see, Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, Street Fighter 6 again. More will come later. Didn't show anything new really. Street Fighter, Capcom Collection again, still coming out June 24th. That game should be ready. Yeah, I mean, wait, this Exo Primal was already shown once. This gameplay trailer. Oh, I don't remember that one. Oh
Mhm.
yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. I thought it was a different trailer, but okay. Let's see. So we had Resident Evil stuff. Okay. Resident Evil Village DLC was shown finally. So you get a whole thing coming October 28th. A third person mode, which I think is huge for a lot of people. That's pretty huge actually. And a new campaign. I agree. Those kind of games for me, I think, are better third person, but they wanted you to be immersed. I get it. But yeah. But yeah, because we've been raised on third person for the game, so it's like, I adding that mode is awesome that they listened and they did that. It's really cool, and they give us, you get a whole new campaign, and a mercenaries add-on, which is the multiplayer, right? So
Oh my goodness.
Mm.
uh, yeah, and let's see, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 7 upgrades for the next gen, well, the new current gen consoles. So you get ray tracing add-ins and a couple of other cool things for those games to make them look better on the new consoles. Um, yeah, that was great. 3, not so much, but 2 was a fantastic remake. Yeah, I love 2. Um, and then Resident Evil 4 remake showed a lot of that, right? The whole gameplay section, presentation gameplay. Do we have no date for that though, right?
Oh,
No.
Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's March 20. I thought it was March. March
Is it
24th or
March?
something like
Okay.
that.
Okay, that's why I couldn't. Okay, I couldn't remember. Yeah,
They
so they
showed it
showed
on
that.
PlayStation. I'm like, why wouldn't they show it on their own thing?
That's right. So this game is, again, Resident Evil 4 that we've all seen that has been remastered before, but this one is older than Last of Us. So it can be remastered and it looks a little different. So it looks nicer. Obviously, it's going to adapt its QOL stuff of the newer games too, which is really cool to hear.
And they're changing a little bit here.
Yeah, and they're changing the story too. We've said this before too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah,
Mm.
exactly, exactly. So and is that it for the conference? I think that was it, right? Those they just had Resident Evil Reverse, right? Yeah, yeah. And that was pretty much it for the Capcom show. Oh yes,
Mhm.
I missed it on here.
Announcement for announcement.
I love that. So wasn't bad. Um, yeah, again, I mean, I think Microsoft's was very mediocre. There's nothing I would argue that was bad, but there's nothing spectacular, right?
Come on. I heard Perfect Dark is fucked. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I don't know. I would assume we would have gotten something from that, but I guess they just yeah. It's their freaking staffing turnover. They can't do that practice anymore. They gotta change that. It's killing them. It's a stupid policy. I can't say that enough. Like, it just who says that makes sense? Who thinks that makes sense? Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we knew they were already going to take forever for the next season, so we have the roadmap. It's forever,
Yeah.
drip feed.
Infinite, Mike. That's what the
Yes,
word they want you to
infinite.
use.
Infinite waiting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, and I think that's pretty much it, guys. Episode 6. What? Go ahead. I was going to talk about 600, but go on. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Looking forward to that. Episode 600 is coming this week. So this
Yes.
weekend, huh? Saturday is the gameplay. We're gonna do Turtles is coming out, so we will be playing that game. I promise you guys. Starting at 12 o'clock on Saturday, possibly a little earlier. You'll get notified if you follow us on Twitch. So please follow us and subscribe. You know, we'll be doing a regularly scheduled podcast on Tuesday of next week as well, which we also will stream on Twitch. That is episode 600, which is a traditional podcast, but we're going to be going back and talking about the last 100 episodes essentially for each movies and games. A lot to digest on those things. It's exciting, guys. 600 episodes. It's a long time chatting with you guys.
12 years.
Gotta say.
12 years.
Yeah, it's kind of a long time. A little bit. It's crazy. So tune in, guys, next week. It's gonna be a fun week. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to go over. If you have any questions or comments, you can always write us allyoucangeek@gmail.com. You can leave comments on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube as well. We post these the following day on YouTube, so feel free to leave comments and questions there. And until then, we'll see you guys. We're out.